today at Hobbs State Park Conservation Area with Superintendent Mark Clippinger, talking about the uses of prescribed burning. Now, Mr. Clippinger, what are the uses of prescribed burning here at Hobbs?
Well, we conduct prescribed burning at the state park here to try to bring back species and manage the forest that we have that we lost over time. As you look around us, behind us here, you see where we recently conducted a prescribed burn, and you can see the forest immediately behind us is thinner. And this is the way the forest used to look 150, 170 years ago. Our forefathers came in and logged many of our areas. The Ozark region used to have the largest standing hardwood forest in the world. And because of timbering operations and people's needs, and maybe not good management practices back then, we cut a lot of the timber down, so you had smaller species all fighting to get to the top at the same time, which crowded the forest. Currently we have around close to 200 trees per acre on the Hobbs tract. Historically, we normally only had 50 to 75, max 100 trees per acre. So the intensity of the timber that's growing here, overstory timber, is thicker. And as a result, as you see beyond us here, a lot of understory growth comes up. So we have a fight for basically nutrients in the ground, and we end up with smaller timber, smaller diameter timber, taller timber, thinner sticks, toothpicks if you will, and not all of them survive well or can endure weather well, or storms or hurricanes or whatever may occur.
And what are some of the invasive plants that are prevented by using?
Fortunately, here on the Hobbs, we've been on the interior of the forest. Our invasive species are limited. Where our invasive species are prevalent on the park is usually in the perimeter along the highway roadways or highway right-of-ways, and in areas where we do have openings, where we have old home sites that we've picked up, which we don't have many of them. But those invasive species include fescue, mimosa trees, tree of heaven, lespedeza, and a variety of species like that, and thistle, other species, and we've been very aggressive at eradicating those species. What we try to do in the forest here is get the forest layer burnt off, and once we get it burned off, the native species, there's a seed bed under here that the native species are waiting to come up and wake up. So once that happens and you get the native species in there, any invasive species that tries to get in, the native species are going to crowd out that invasive species. So our fire application on the perimeter of the forest, where we have more of our invasive species located, unfortunately sometimes if it's not conducted properly, will make those species angry and they'll just come back strong. But we've been pretty successful in managing that with fire at this point.